Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to be installing the Denali Soundbomb Mini Horn in the Triumph Tiger 900. Welcome back to JB ADV, guys. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this little video of me putting a new horn on the bike. Nothing is better than being a little bit safer on the road, getting more attention from drivers out on the road, because we all hate when people get in our lane. Even though it's super compact, this horn is supposed to be double the loudness of a stock little disc horn that comes stock on all these bikes. We're going to give it a shot because I want a louder horn to really get the attention of other drivers when I'm out on a highway, on a back road, in traffic, everything in between. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a direct comparison, and I'm going to do an audio demo of what the stock horn is on my bike now, which is probably very similar to most modern motorcycles or anything you have installed on your bike today. And then we're also going to do a sound comparison with this installed just to see a direct comparison. Installing the Soundbomb Mini should be super easy today, guys. This shouldn't be a long video at all. My stock horn is located right underneath the front beak of my motorcycle, right up and under. It's like a couple bolts that we're just going to have to pull out. Mount this one right up. Should be good to go. Should be noted that Denali makes 3 different horns. They actually make the Soundbomb Mini, the super compact one, and since mine gets tucked up underneath the front beak, I wanted to leave all the wiring alone, use the stock location, so I went with the Mini. The other 2 horns that they sell are air horn. One is a compact air horn where the entire compressor, it's like a mini compressor, is compacted with their other horn. It's just it still ends up being a bigger unit, and you can mount it all over your bike. Some people do it off their crash bars. Some people have the room in their frame to tuck it up under the rear, but I didn't want to go that route. And if you don't have room to install that type of horn, they even sell it split, where the compressor can be mounted in another location and their actual air horn can be mounted in another with just an air line in between. Super easy, but after comparing it online on their website and listening to the different horns, I actually didn't like the way the other air horns sounded. So I went with the Mini, which gives you that more traditional horn sound, but it's still compact. It won't add too much weight to my bike. Should be a lot simpler. Also, it's a lot cheaper too. So let's get right into it by first getting a demo sound of how the stock horn on my bike sounds. Okay guys, so I have a DJI mic that you guys can probably see that I record with, but what I'm gonna do to just make this super simple is I'm just gonna stand in the same relative location each time I turn on my key and hit my horn. I am in a garage, as you guys know, so sound may vary outside. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn my key on, I'm gonna hit my horn button, and we're gonna get a relative sound of me standing in the same location. First, this is gonna be with the stock horn. All right, guys, we're in the front of the motorcycle now. So like I said, the horn is tucked up underneath the front portion of this motorcycle under what they call the beak. And it's right in between your 2 fog lights as well. Now the horn shares the same mount as the fog lights when you're using the stock form of this bike. So what we need to get underneath it is a 12 mil. We're gonna have to uninstall the 2 bolts here, and there's another bracket that comes off on the main hole piece that holds the horn. I'm gonna show you now. So here's the front of the bike coming right underneath. You can see where the horn is mounted. I'm gonna try to get a good angle for you. So these are your 2 main bracket bolts that are 12 mils, like I said. These branch off and they hold your stock fog lights. This bolt in the middle comes out to this bracket that you can see is right above my finger now. I'm touching it right now. That comes out to your horn right here. There it is. And you have your 2 wires right here that connect right into your horn. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna unbolt this whole thing, drop this down, because the bolt that actually holds the horn is all the way up here, and that's a challenge to get into and like get a wrench. So let's drop this down, replace this horn with the new one, plug it all in, get it all back up here. Should be pretty straightforward. Okay guys, so as you can see, like I said, this whole bracket will come down, and here is your entire horn assembly right here. So this is the nut we really got to get to drop this off, and then we'll unplug these wires, put the new one in. Should slot right back up. We might have to change the orientation of the new one, but let's show you the new one now. So this is the new horn. As you can see, it says Denali on it, but it actually has a full-blown horn mechanism to it. Still shares the same bolt. I would like to orient it more like this. Sorry, the horn is kind of blowing out toward the front where I'm trying to alert people, and it would position where the wires go. But as you can see on the stock horn, the wires kind of meet in this way, and the wires for this will come in on the top. So we might have to orient it more like this, just so we can clear where those wires go, but we're gonna figure that out as we go. To remove this down, it's just gonna be a 10mm wrench. Just gonna loosen that up until it's loose like that. You should be able to thread off the rest with your fingers. They are not on there very secure at all. There it is, stock little horn. Let's just remove these wires, quick and easy. Also, you may have a washer. Mine just fell off. I didn't see it because it was black and it was hidden in there, but just watch because you also have a washer hidden in there as well. Okay, so the main thing I'm seeing right off the bat, because I'm trying to use this stock bracket, but I don't think it's gonna work on this bike, is if you guys can tell, the stud for the screws on the stock horn is pretty long, about, I don't know, a ½ inch probably, but the one on the new aftermarket horn is about a ¼ inch smaller. So with that being said, the problem is that using the stock washers on your old horn or your stock horn, it won't reach all the way through this stock bracket. I mean, it barely reaches, but I can't really lock down too good on this and use this rubber bushing with a couple washers like it's supposed to and actually press fit it all together. So luckily, Denali does supply you with some pretty basic stock here to use. So using these, we can make a bracket. I'm probably gonna sandwich both of these together to make it a little extra strong, but I'm going to remove this stock bracket and try to mount up this one, and we'll see if we can get it installed. I don't really care about the color because you're not really gonna see it too much when it's on the bottom of this bike, but let's just see what we can get done. Removing the stock little bracket here is another 12, and you just wanna unscrew this. It's gonna unscrew everything else from it, this main fog light harness and everything else. But we need to remove this little bracket. And there it goes. So we're gonna try to just sneak this in there. Hopefully these holes are bigger. Oh my gosh, they're actually the right size. That is amazing. Let's get this started back up in there. So I know it's not straight right now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it pretty close and start straightening it as we get closer. That's pretty close. There it goes. Nice. So it's not totally tight right now, but it's pretty close. And it only really, it's all keyed. This whole section is keyed, so it can only go in one way. So if you see everything's like kind of cockeyed, just either snap it into place like I just did, or loosen it up a little bit and try again, because it can all only fit in one direction. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to install this, and then we'll try to correct the orientation as we go. I'm gonna actually use the stock little locking washer that comes bent from the factory. Just helps apply pressure and keep the nut from backing off. I'm gonna insert that on the bottom, insert this up, and now I have the room with these thinner brackets. I'm gonna insert the stock washer on top that came on top of the other one, and then the new nut. Okay, so we got everything sandwiched together, and this is ready to be tightened. Right now it's very loose, as you guys can see. Your stock wires for your stock horn are coming in from the angle underneath. They actually come through a little hole back here and then route underneath. I actually pulled them through because when I tuck this up, I should have enough room if I make it a little on an angle and be able to connect them in. So what I'm actually gonna have to do here is kind of guess with how much room I have here, snug this up, hook them up, and press this all back up. Okay. So all that is nice and snug. That's not going anywhere. I'm gonna try to tighten this up just a little bit more. There we go. Just for a good measure. Now, like I said, I wanted the horn portion facing the front as much as possible on my bike. So I'm hoping the sound can carry to the front of my bike more for better safety. But now I left just enough room and left it angled just a little bit that I should be able to sneak these wires in and then tuck this whole bracket up. All right, so this bracket likes to sit pretty exact when you're up here, just like that. So you just gotta mess with it until it sits pretty good. Then I'm just gonna try to throw one bolt in here, try to keep it from leaving. There we go. One's in. Let me sink the other side in. I'm gonna be blocking the camera from you guys, sorry. Okay, so now everything is loose sitting up there, but the horn is mounted up here. So I'm just gonna double check everything. This bracket's loose right now because I had to undo that middle bolt to get everything to shift into place better. But that horn is still secured in there. I know that much. It's on the bracket. So, and the wires are in. Okay guys, I just buttoned up the two on the outer bolts, got the whole main bracket attached. The horn was still kind of loose because I like just positioned it just perfect underneath, and then I tightened that main bracket that we put in there. Everything's all buttoned up, everything's nice and tight, everything's back to its stock position. No one would ever know that there's a Denali Soundbomb Mini underneath. So now let's return back up top and let's give you the first impressions of what I think of this, because I haven't heard it yet. So let's go. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get our first impression of the Soundbomb Mini Horn. Now, we already recorded the stock horn, but let's go ahead, let's turn on the key, and I'm in the same relative position, and let's hit the horn. I gotta say, a lot louder than I expected, but it's more lower than I expected. I think the stock horn has a really high pitch, like key note that everybody understands when they hear a motorcycle horn. This gives you that nice lower tone where it's not so obnoxious on your ears. I could definitely listen to this horn for a lot longer than I can the other one, but I think being the lower note, it carries a lot farther than the traditional horn will, so I think this would get a lot better attention. Overall, I like the sound of this horn a lot better than the stock horn. Now, once again, here at the end, because you probably forgot by now, I'm going to insert right now what the stock horn sounded like compared to this horn right here. Alright guys, so after you just heard it again, let me know down below which version you think sounds better. The traditional stock horn that you guys could probably go walk outside right now and listen to yourselves because it's probably on your bike. Or do you like the new weirder sound that the Soundbomb Mini offers? The nice low tone that probably carries a lot further. You let me know down below. And in the meantime, guys, I'm going to keep getting more parts for this bike. I know this is a silly little video, but I wanted to get it out to you guys because it's something I think that's kind of important. Something that's a little bit louder of a horn. It can get the attention of people on the road a little bit more. I know, as much as you guys probably know, we hate the fact that people can come right into our lane. They don't see us. No matter how many lights, no matter how reflective we are, doesn't matter. And it really doesn't help that I have a black bike now. I just blend right into that roadway. I've noticed it so much already. I just want to go ahead and say, if it wasn't clear already, I am not an affiliate with Denali in any way, shape, or form. I paid for this with my own money, and in fact, it was $36.99. So 37 bucks for this horn. I think it's a lot louder. I think it's a lot cooler. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this install. This is a nice little quick little install on my Tiger 900. Like I said, all the parts I install on this bike I'm going to be bringing you guys along with. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button. Like I said, leave a comment on which one you think you prefer better. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. I think the next video we're going to be doing is maybe the rear rack. And I don't know. I'm going to go over, when I do the rear rack, of some other ideas I have as far as racks and panniers for this bike. So we're going to keep building this bike up in the next couple weeks here, and we're going to get back to you guys real soon, okay? So you guys have a great one, and I'll catch you in the next one.